Hi, this is teacher Hasan from SMBP Chalermkwansatree School. Welcome to my science class. How are you today? I hope all of you are doing very well. So today I'm going to teach you about how to learn science. Lecture 2, Part 1, What is Science? So let's get started. What is science? Science, the word actually originated from Latin scientia, and which means knowledge. Now, to conduct scientific experiments, scientists must follow certain rules. What are the rules? They have to be objective. What is objectivity? Objectivity means not influenced by feelings, interests, and prejudices. So they have to rely on facts and figures. They have to rely on facts and figures. They have to be honest to their research, and that's the way they can be objective, and ultimately they will be able to bring unbiased results. On the other hand, scientists must not be subjective. Scientists must not be subjective. So what is subjectivity? Subjectivity means influenced by feelings, interests, and prejudices. And this kind of quality will bring biased results. So to give you a definition of science, here it goes. Science is the effort to discover and increase human understanding of how the physical world works. Now you can see another definition. Any system of knowledge that is concerned, that deals with the physical world and its phenomena. What is the phenomena? How it works. Phenomena, so how it works, that entails unbiased observation. So observations must be unbiased, and experimentation must be systematic. To get a systematic experimentation, we need the scientific method. And I will discuss about scientific method later on in the videos. So you can see there are some important words, like a scientist must be knowledgeable and must know about the physical world and its phenomena, what's happening and how it works. And that includes or entails unbiased observations. So observation must be based on the facts and figures. Facts and figures. So have to be objective, right? Not subjective. And must rely on or must conduct a systematic experimentation. It's still confusing? Do you want a simpler definition? So here it goes. Science is the knowledge gained from using observations and experimentations to describe and explain the world around us. So whenever you see a science definition, you will see these three words: knowledge, then observations. What kind of observations? Unbiased observations, right? Unbiased observations. And then you have to do experiments following the scientific method to explain the world around us. How does science differ from other fields of study? So you see, natural world, the natural world always maintains order. And if you have some questions about some phenomena, and then you must investigate. So how do you investigate? Investigation means observation, right? Observation. So you have to observe the things with objectivity, with facts and figures, not subjective. And that will bring you some evidence which makes sense, right? And then you can explain those phenomena. Although explanations are not fixed, explanations are not fixed, they are tentative. Tentative means changeable. So explanations can change through criticism. But anyhow, you see, science is a way of knowing. the things around us. All scientists observe things, try to explain their observations, and then conduct experiments to test their ideas. And this process is known as scientific method. Now, you see, there are several steps in the scientific method. First of all, we have to ask a question whenever we see a problem. You see many types of problems in your daily life, but most of the problems are common. Some problems you don't know the answer, right? So it would be really interesting to deal with those kind of problems, those or whose answers you don't know. And then you can research your question, like, has anyone asked it before? Has anyone done this kind of research before? And how do you know that? You have to read books, you have to read journals, you have to read articles. So you have to read to research your questions. And based on your questions, you will have some causes or variables. Causes or variables. And we say the facts, right? Facts, or you can say reasons. So based on reasons, causes, or variables, you will be able to form a hypothesis. What is a hypothesis? It's an educated guess. It's an educated guess about the problem, so that you can conduct an experiment to test your hypothesis, whether the hypothesis is right or wrong. So you see, you can test your hypothesis with a designed experiment, and from the experiment you can record the data. After recording the data, you can analyze the data to match with your hypothesis. Based on your results, you can draw conclusions. From the conclusions, you can get to know what you learned, and then was your hypothesis correct? And that's the way you can bring some new conclusions, new ideas. So you see, science or scientists always rely on experiments. Without experiments, it's impossible to test hypotheses. And because only the experiments can bring you the explanations, like whether your hypotheses are right or wrong. So a long time ago, when people didn't really practice science, when they didn't have any types of logical explanations, but still some of them, some of the people were kind of science minded, and they had some questions um, from their like surroundings, like, why is grass green, why is the sky blue, why it gets colder in winter? And this is the way actually science originated, right? It's all about knowledge, it's all about searching. Once upon a time, some people, or all the people, actually believed the world is flat. But you know, this kind of belief is kind of vague right now. We got to know that based on the evidence, right? So what we have to do, we have to follow a method, a standard method, that is scientific method, right? Scientific method to do experiments, and that's the way we can have some evidence to draw conclusions, and that is the way we can prove science, we can deal with science. So you see, explorers sailed their ships all around the world, and by doing so, explorers provided evidence that world was round. It was round and not flat. And how it happens? It happened through an observation, an objective observation, right? And that's the way scientists got to know the world is flat. It's not flat, it's round. So evidence, experiment, and proofs are really, really important. And these are the baseline knowledge to study or deal with science. Now, please look at this gentleman. His name's Galileo Galilei, an Italian polymath. So what is polymath? Polymath is a person who is knowledgeable. So who has a vast knowledge, right? Knowledge about everything, about science, about math, about statistics, about living organisms, about chemistry. So he was a man of knowledge, and he is the father of modern science. Now, I would like to discuss about the branches of natural sciences. As you see, natural sciences are divided into four main parts. Number one, life science. Number two, physical science. Then you see formal science, and then you see social science. Now, I would like to discuss them in a brief details. Life science has three main branches. Number one, zoology, study of animals; botany, study of plants; and paleontology, study of fossils. Then you see physical science, non-living matters, right? Chemistry, it's all about material, substance, and reactions. If you see the test tubes, if you see like the molecules, right, then reactions, and you see the elements. So it's all about studying elements and the reactions, chemical reactions. Then you see physics. Physics is the study of energy, heat, electricity, magnetism, force, right? Astronomy is the study of the celestial objects. Celestials means the things we see in the sky, like planets, galaxies, asteroids, meteors, right? Black holes, comets, something like that. And then you see earth science. It's all about geology. So you can study about the meteorology, study of weathers, geology, earth, including rocks, soils, and rivers. Then I would like to discuss about formal science. Formal science has three main branches, right? You see, mathematics, kind of non-verbal, analytical skills. Then logic, so critical thinking, we say cognitive skills, cognitive skills. And then statistics, we need statistics to conduct experiments, to show some associations between the causes and effect. So we need statistics in our research. And finally, you see social sciences that includes geography, history, and economics. Now, this is time for your homework. I hope you have a notebook like this, right? Yeah, I think you do. So please write the questions on your notebook and please try to find the answers from this lecture. Number one, what is science? So you can define science. What are objectivity and subjectivity? Which one is important for science, objectivity or subjectivity, and why? I hope you have this answer. You know this answer from this lecture. What is the scientific method? You saw 6-step method, right? What steps are there in the scientific method? Who is the father of modern science? Galileo Galilei, who is an Italian polymath. So you know the word polymath right now. Write down the branches of science or natural sciences. So you learned about different branches of natural sciences. I hope this lecture will help. So thank you very much for your kind attention and watching this video. If you have any questions about this lecture, please feel free to ask me by email or line. I hope to see you in my next videos. Until then, bye-bye.